Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of the FinRL series that I'm doing here. In the last video, we wrangled our data and saved it into a folder. In this video, we will train our agent on that data. And if you're not aware, I highly suggest going to the AI for Finance Foundation FinRL tutorials to go and follow along with what I'm doing here. I've made some modifications to their code just to, mostly for the video, kind of just shorten the time so we're not spending the video doesn't become too long. But there's a whole lot of information found on their GitHub that I highly suggest you go check out. So I've also sort of different from what we've done in the past. I've already ran through this code and I'm just going to walk us through it. I'm not going to run anything simply because I really don't want this video to become too long. And because we're training, there's a good chance that there'll be a lot of just waiting around that isn't necessary. So similar to the last video, part 1, we're going to install the necessary packages. If you've done this locally, you can skip this part. And then the main things that we'll be looking at are the FinRL meta environment stock trading, import trading, stock trading environment. So since we're trading stocks, we need to import the stock trading environment. We need to load our models because we're going to be training an agent and we're going to configure our logger, we're going to configure our tickers, we're going to make directories, and we also need to import our directories that we've made from the past, from our past video. Now, if you've done this locally, this will make more sense, but since I've done it on Google Drive, these two lines aren't as important. But you do need to make sure you know where to get your data from. So just mount your Google Drive, call the same data or the same path that you saved your data in, and grab that information. Now, all that's well and good, but let's get into the actual meat of the package. One thing we need to do to set up our environment is to set the dimensions and our state space. So in the way that we can do that is to take the length of our train simple data, each unique one, that's our stock dimensions. So we have 8 stocks that we're training on. And in the last video, I went over what those stocks are, but it's a combination of, just different stocks that I'm interested in. Everything from Microsoft and Apple to Caterpillar to Goldman Sachs, a lot of different stuff. So if you haven't seen the first video, I suggest checking it out. As far as the state space goes, the state space is the stock dimension plus the length of the indicators times the stock dimension. So we're taking the length of each individual stock, and we're creating a state space for our agent to so forgive me if I make mistakes, but I'm pretty sure that the state space is the agent's window on our data frame that it will make its calculations on. So we're just defining that as twice the stock dimension plus the length of the indicators plus 1, right? So you can see here the stock dimension is 8 and our state space is 81. Similarly, down here, we're setting up our environment quargs, and we're setting our buy cost list equals our sell cost list equals our 0.001 times the stock dimension. We're setting the number of stocks, or we're setting the number of stock shares equal to 0 times the stock dimension. So we're starting with zero stocks, right? The initial amount looks like 1 million here. And we also then just set a lot of everything else that we've set up here, like our number of stock shares, our buy cost list, sell cost list, state space, stock dimension. We put that all into a dictionary for our environment quargs that will then pass through our stock and trading environment. So our trading environment is now set up, and we've stored the environment in this eTrain gem. So everything that we've done up until this point is basically to set up the space in which the agent will train on the data. All right, this is far easier if you've seen the other videos where I use any trading and stable baselines, because you can set up all the environment systems right here. If you know these are the sort of settings, you can really customize this fairly simply by just having it be in a dictionary. And you don't need to call between different packages. It's all set up here for you in FinRL. So very, very easy. And obviously, the better you understand state space, obviously the more power you're going to have in creating a custom agent for your own needs. So pretty cool. The next thing you do is just set up the environment. It does use a stable baselines common in vector dummy. So if you've seen other videos, you're just creating a dummy vector of the environment that you've created, right? So pretty simple here, but you just set it up and you're good to go. The next part is to actually set up the agent, and this is a part of the notebook that I really like because different agents will perform differently, obviously. So you may want to create a notebook where you can train many different types of agents. And we just initialize the deep reinforcement learning agent by passing through the environment and putting that variable as agent. And then we have different models that we can use. So what's nice about this is you can set these to true. So for our purposes, I'm only using the A2C model. But if, for instance, I also wanted to train the PPO model, I just set this to true. And then this will initialize. And then, so everything after that, we're going to set up the A2C model by initializing the model as model A2C using our deep learning agent, get model A2C. Now, if I wanted the PPO model, I could do something like model PPO equals agent.get model, and then I could do like PPO, right? And then if I've initialized both these models, we can use an if statement where it says if using A2C, and that's set to true. So if true, create a temporary path called results directory A2C, new logger A2C, configure path, right? And then set the new logger, model A2C, set logger, new logger A2C. But you might be asking, if I want to use PPO, well, what do I do? Well, you basically copy this exact code and then set it next to it. So let's actually do it. So we'll create C, and then everywhere I see A2C, we're just going to put PPO. So PPO there, we'll do PPO here, we'll do PPO there, and most importantly, we need to make sure that we're using the right info here. So PPO, PPO. Great. We also don't need it to be like that. So awesome. So because we've set A2C to true, and just for argument's sake, let's say we put this to true, what we've done is we've initialized two models here, and we've created, and you can do that for as many models as you want as long as it's here. So we could do DDPG true, TD3 true, and SAC true. And as long as we've created all the if statements to log the paths for our training model, that's what we can do. We just got to initialize it here. And it's very nice. You don't have to configure too much. There's like a standard code base or boilerplate that you can use to train all your different models. So I really find that part awesome because it makes training an ensemble of models much easier, right? So then you would initialize that. It'll give you the steps, the coefficient and the learning rate, et cetera, that you'll be using to train your model. Next, you just say trained A2C model. You call your deep learning agent, train model method, pass through your model A2C, put in your log name and the total time steps. In this case, I did 50,000. And then if using A2C is true, else none. So same exact thing. As long as this is set to true, all of this will initialize and work. Otherwise, it'll do nothing. So if we wanted to initialize our PPO model, you just copy it, and we can do that. But what we'll do is everywhere we see A2C, just put in PPO. And just like that, the cell will now train both models in one go. Obviously, it's going to take a lot longer, but again, it's like that setup boilerplate methodology that you can use to train many models in one go on a set of data that makes this package really powerful. And if you saw the first video, we know that we're training our data on multiple different stocks, which makes our model basically it standardizes creating multiple models and training multiple models far easier than it would be coding what I was working on with stable baselines and gem open trading. So really like this feature, this boilerplate method where you can just set an if statement to true or false in order to develop an agent for across different model types. So really cool aspect to this model that we've got here. It will go ahead and do that. It will train it on whatever models you've set to true. Ignore this. I was playing around with this earlier. I'm guessing. Oh, it looks like it was a keyboard interrupt. But ignore this. This is usually you'll just let this finish out. And then you just call a trained A2C, the model that we've just trained, call it the save method in your directory that you've established. Again, it's in that if statement. So if true, that pipeline will just more or less just go all the way through. If you're not using a Jupyter notebook and you just have it in, a Python file, it makes just setting it up once. And then if you need to go back and make some changes, you just have to change the true or false statements, which is nice. And it's the same sort of concept here with the PPO model. We'll just copy it, paste it, and we'll just change what we need. Since both of these are true, it should save it into both. Now, this is really only for those folks who are doing this locally, right? Because you've already initialized your trained model directory on your computer. What this will do in Colab is it will just set up another folder over here, which it will store your data. But because you've mounted your drive, you could set your model directory to your drive, which is what I should have done. But I just let it go into this model directory in this panel over here, and then I just moved it into my drive, if that makes sense. I know we're sort of visualizing it here because I haven't actually run any of the code this time, but it makes training multiple models much easier. So I highly recommend going in, using the boilerplate that they've set up for you, especially if you're a beginner like I am, to really fine tune your agents. And like I said, it also gives you a good framework to learn more about areas that you're not totally that you need to work on, that you need more knowledge of. Because I noticed using stable baselines and the gym open trading, there was so much to it that I didn't understand. But it was almost like I didn't understand what I knew and what I didn't know. And it's hard to explain, but when you have a boilerplate framework to work off of, you really can say like, oh, okay, I understand like the code flow and what we've done to set up the agent, but like for me, example, I'm not as comfortable with setting up the environment and understanding like why we've set certain things the way that we've set it. So this gives me a really big opportunity to be like, the thing I need to learn with reinforcement learning is the environments that need to be set up for customization. And I think that really helps with innovating on your own projects further down the line. And it could be vice versa. You could say, well, I get the training environment, but I don't understand these boilerplates for an agent or what's going behind the scenes with when I call this get model. And you might want to dive deeper into the GitHub repository to see what exactly is the get model and how they've set up ATC and PPO and what they're calling there. And you might want to change that, and you could. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part 2 of the FinRL series. In the next video, we're going to backtest our model and see how well it compares to just doing nothing. And we'll set up a mean variance optimization as well to see if it outperforms the basic modern portfolio optimization theories. So yeah, I'll see you then when that comes out, hopefully next week. And until then, take care. Bye.